In the headlines, partial resumption, busy parks as workers extend Salah holidays. President Tinubu Jets Out to Paris on working visit. FCT resident decry alleged electricity consumers' rights violations. On the foreign scene, Nigeria's junta releases 50 people including ministers linked to 2010 coup. Hello, welcome to Trust News Update. My name is Idris Dayabaturi. And now with the Salah holiday over, workers across the public and private sectors are expected to resume work this Wednesday. Meanwhile, however, while many are returning to work, a significant number of workers have unofficially extended their holidays with some delaying their return until the weekend. Simultaneously, transportation hubs across the Federal Capital Territory FCT, including parks, train stations, and airports are experiencing increased traffic as people journey back to their residences ahead of the official resumption. Trust TV's Kabir Law reports on the state of transportation fares and the resumption situation at motor parks within the FCT.
A notable number of workers in the FCT are yet to resume work due to ongoing Salah festivities. This trend, where workers in both the public and private sectors extend their holidays beyond the official government-declared period, has become a recurring pattern in Nigeria. Some workers have criticized this practice, citing a lack of professional work ethic and punctuality.
Because they not regard their job as, they not respect law. Let me put it that way. They not respect the law. And they not regard their job as job. That's just it. Like me on the private sector, at least if everybody know that Salah closed by maybe on Monday, that people supposed to resume on Tuesday, I do go to my work because I know it's from there that I will benefit care for my children and other things like that. But it's because they don't regard their job as job. So that's just it. And they don't respect the law.
At the same time, still, they're trying to take, any opportunity they see, to take a break from going to work, paying transport and all of that, they would. But, you should be diligent to your work. So if you have work, if there's a public holiday and afterwards you're supposed to be at work, you should resume work back.
Transportation business has been significantly impacted by delayed resumption of workers, which is a common occurrence after holidays. It has actually impacted negatively on our business. I was in Kaduna day before yesterday and I came back this morning. So I can't compare what I get before the Salah break and what we get now. We are calling on the government to do the needful so that people will not complain.
I think the government has a role to play to restore back confidence in the public workforce. The private sector also has a lot to do to rebuild that confidence in their workplace, so that by the time they say they are on public holiday, even while they are at home, they will be eager to go back to resume back their work. So I think it has to do with confidence. Though there is basically lack of trust and confidence in the workplace. So I think this is a call of action for the government and also the private sector to re-engineer and work again to restore public and private confidence in the citizens.
Drivers at Abuja Motor Park reported a consistent pattern of delayed returns following holidays, which they noted negatively affects their business. Other residents who spoke with Trust TV News urged workers to prioritize punctuality and contribute to national development. Kabir Lawal, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Now, President Bola Tinubu on Wednesday departed for Paris, France on a short working visit. In a video shared by the presidency, Tinubu was seen greeting top government officials before boarding the presidential aircraft. An early statement signed by Tinubu's spokesperson Bayo Onanuga said during the visit, the president will appraise his administration's midterm performance and assess key milestones. According to him, Tinubu will also use the retreat to review the progress of ongoing reforms and engage in strategic planning ahead of his administration's second anniversary. He added that while away, President Tinubu will remain fully engaged with his team and continue to oversee governance activities. He will return to Nigeria in about a fortnight, according to the statement. Now, some residents of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, have been speaking on the alleged violations of their right as electricity consumers. This is despite the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NERC, repeatedly insisting that it is committed to protecting the right of electricity consumers, while also assuring that it will ensure that, that distribution companies, DISCOs, provide quality service. In this report, Neil Sampson speaks to FCT residents on how their rights are being violated. Also get the views of an electricity market analyst on how consumers can channel their grievances when their rights are violated.
Some FCT residents who spoke with Trust TV expressed dissatisfaction with the role of the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NERC, in the area of protecting the rights of electricity consumers in the country and demanded more from the commission.
If you look at it vividly, they are not really protecting the right of the consumers, because following by the right of the consumers, there are some entitlement that we are entitled to. But if you look at it vividly, we are not enjoying those benefits. I think if you pay, it's their responsibility to pay you back. But all those things, they are not there. To some extent, before you can even get a meter now, you pay almost some area, you pay 200,000, 150,000. 100,000. Still, you're not even seeing the meter. They are still playing you the game.
I think the entity is of a selfish interest, because if that's the case, we cannot be operating on 3 different bands, band A, B, C, and yet people on band B barely see light. You can no longer cook food and put in your refrigerators because of the fear of it getting spoiled. You have less than 10 hours light per day. The low-income earners are the ones suffering for it.
They're not protecting it because sometimes you order for meter and the meter gets delayed. Sometimes it takes so many months before it gets to you, and again the way they charge this time around is too much. The charges this time around is too much. Like I knew I did about 2.5 yesterday, and this morning is gone. So it's not like that before.
An electricity market expert, Abubakar Ibrahim, highlights what the NERC is doing to protect the rights of consumers in Nigeria.
NERC is doing a whole lot to try to sensitize customers. There is what they call the quarterly customers consultative forums, which they make all distribution companies to organize and then invites the customers to attend. I have attended so many of them. And some of them, when you go there, you see that the customers are not there. And the reason for organizing this consultative forum is for NERC to hear, that's Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, to hear from these customers, to know exactly what is going on. Yes, are you being billed properly? Are you being given adequate energy? When your transformer got spoiled, who fixes it? Are you the one that fixes it? So these are some of the channels.
He also spoke on what should be done to improve the knowledge base of Nigerians on their electricity rights.
Since we have a lot of listenership on radios and televisions, especially local televisions, and they can leverage on this media to reach out to the consumers so that they understand. They have a lot of programs that are out there to protect these customers and also give them the best they're supposed to get from them.
Protecting electricity consumers' rights ensures a fair, reliable, and safe power supply, fostering trust between consumers and providers, and ultimately contributing to economic and social development. Noel Sampson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Now, the Kogi state government has asked security agencies to hold Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan of Kogi Central District responsible should any violence erupt in the north-central state. In a statement on Tuesday, the State Commissioner for Information, Kingsley Fanwo, blamed the senator for holding her homecoming rally despite the ban placed by the Governor Usman Ododo administration. The commissioner also said the female lawmaker allegedly has plans to use her visit to stir trouble and violence in Kogi Central Senatorial District. Akpoti-Uduaghan on Tuesday received a rousing welcome from the supporters and residents of the Ihima community of Kogi despite the state government ban on rallies and processions. Now, the Edo State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal in Abuja is set to deliver judgment in the case filed by the candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Asiu Ugodalo, challenging the outcome of governorship polls held in the state on September 21, 2024. The three-man panel led by Justice Wilfred Pochi had on March 3rd reserved its verdict after parties in the matter adopted their final written addresses. The PDP and its governorship candidate Ugodalo are challenging the victory of Governor Monday Okpebolo of the All Progressives Congress APC, alleging that the election was not conducted in compliance with the provisions of the Electoral Act 2022. The PDP and Ugodalo brought 19 witnesses before the tribunal and tendered numerous documents to back their claims, while the APC called 4 witnesses, with the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) calling none. Supporters from both sides of the divide have converged on the nation's capital, patiently waiting for the outcome of the judgment. Now, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has asked the Group Chief Executive Officer, CEO of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, Mele Kyari. Tinubu also dissolved its board, removing the chairman, Pius Akinyelure. The special advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, announced this in a statement on Wednesday. Onanuga said Tinubu invoked his powers under Section 59, Subsection 2 of the Petroleum Industry Act, PIA 2021, to carry out the sweeping reconstitution, citing the need for enhanced operational efficiency, restored investor confidence, and a more commercially viable NNPC. He announced that the Tinubu has now approved a new 11-man board, which has engineer Bashir Bayo Ojulari as the group CEO and Ahmadu Musa Kida as non-executive chairman. According to the statement, Adidapo Shegun, who replaced Umar Isa Ajia as the chief financial officer last November, has been appointed to the new board by President Tinubu. Now, the new Commissioner of Police in charge of Zamfara State Command, Ibrahim Mekaba, has taken over as the 35th Commissioner in the state, with a call on stakeholders, policemen, and officers to give him the necessary support towards ensuring security and peace in the state. CB Mekaba made the call shortly after taking over the baton as the Commissioner of Police for Zamfara Command State. Mekaba took over from CP Muhammad Shehu Dalijan, who has been promoted to the rank of an Assistant Inspector General of Police AIG and redeployed to the Counter-Terrorism Unit CTU Force Headquarters Abuja. The new commissioner of pledged to consolidate on the achievement of his predecessor, improve security and community engagement in Zamfara State.
As you are aware, I'm just coming in, so I will study the situation with the officers I meet on the ground, with my principal officers, and see how we can improve on what is on the ground. Yes, most importantly, I cannot work without the support of the members of the command and other stakeholders in the community, and other security agencies. So I will be working with them hand in hand to ensure that we improve on the situation we meet on the ground here. Yes, the people of Zamfara State, I solicit for their cooperation and support to ensure that we really improve on the situation we are meeting now on the ground.
This is News Update on Trust TV. Coming up after the break. Arewa youth in Lagos denounce killing, demand absolute justice from state, federal government. More news when we return. Don't go away. Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is the News Update on Trust TV. Let's take a look at our top stories again. Partial resumption, busy parks as workers extend Salah holidays. And President Tinubu jets out to Paris on working visits. Moving on to more stories, several motorists were stranded at the collapsed Namne Bridge along the Jalingo-Wakari Road in Gasso local government area of Taraba State after a heavy rainfall on Wednesday washed away the alternative bridge built through self-help. The bridge, built in place of the one which collapsed 7 months earlier, served as a passage for motorists plying the road. Although Governor Agbu Kefas has awarded a contract for the reconstruction of the bridge last month, the contractors were yet to mobilize to the site. Motorists plying the road from Jalingo and Wakari and were forced to divert to Garbache town in Bali local government area before they continue with their journeys. Stranded motorists and commuters expressed disappointment over the failure of authorities, especially the federal government, to reconstruct the bridge before the start of the rainy season. Now, the Northern Nigerian Youth Organization NNYO, an umbrella body of northern youth in the south, has reacted to the gruesome killing of a traveling group of northern hunters in Uromi town, Esan Northeast Local Government Council of Edo State. Addressing newsmen during a press briefing at the Lagos State Secretariat of NNYO in Lagos on Saturday, the chairman of the group, Ibrahim Abubakar Jagaba, expressed NNYO's grief and empathy with the immediate and extended families of the deceased over the killings, which he described as barbaric and utterly condemnable. Trust TV's Abbas Alibi sent in this report as presented from our studios.
Ibrahim Jagaba disclosed that the briefing was at the instance of Northern Nigeria youths organizations across the entire southern region to register their anguish and to denounce in strong terms the actions of the killers of their brothers and fellow Nigerian citizens in Edo State.
This country has a constitution that respects the dignity of human life, and unfortunately such an action, very barbaric, took place for hours. There was no any presence of security agents to put a stop to it. At this juncture, we want to say we're calling on the government of Edo State and the federal government of Nigeria to please hasten intervention into this issue, because the tension is so rife in the country. We all know what it means when your kinsmen are gruesomely killed by a particular region. It shouldn't be encouraged anywhere. We don't encourage that. And as such, we are calling on the state government under the leadership of Monday Okpebolo, the governor of Edo State. We're also calling on the federal government under the leadership of our president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to look into this and make sure justice is seen to be done. All of the perpetrators, we require them to be brought to justice. They should face the full wrath of the law.
The Northern Group also condemned the gruesome killings of fellow Nigerian citizens anywhere in the country, adding that as a legitimate group founded on the principles of justice, fairness, socio-economic, cultural and true leadership, the organization shall follow up with what is going on in Edo State.
Also seizing this opportunity to call on our youth, especially our northern youth that belongs to this body and every other northern youth, to please embrace peace and never take laws into our hands. Of course, in situations like this, what you see happening is people will be planning reprisals. We don't encourage that, and we also are warning or advising rather our members not to take laws into their hands. We will be following up on this case, and we'll be having an ultimatum of 2 weeks under which we observe what the constituted authority is going to do.
Other members of the group also appealed to northern youths and northerners in general to embrace full restraint and decorum and patiently wait for the concerned authorities to ensure that justice catches up with the evildoers.
This truly shows that the country is not at peace, and we lack brotherhood, support and love.
The hunter is a respected person and a respected business, in which our forefathers have been feeding their family before now. If not because of this crisis or this herders, farmers crisis, all of this wouldn't have happened. But we need to tolerate ourselves as one Nigeria.
I must call the state government in Edo State to look forward into this matter. We are Nigerians. What we are calling this conference is not for peace not to reign, it's for peace to reign.
16 hunters traveling to Kano State from Rivers for Salah festivities were intercepted by a local vigilante, after which they were beaten and killed.
Abbas Ibrahim Alibi, Trust TV, Lagos.
Now, Nigeria's net foreign exchange reserve (NFER) as of the end of 2024 stood at $23.11 billion, the highest level in over 3 years, reflecting a substantial improvement in the country's external liquidity, reduced short-term obligations, and renewed investor confidence. A statement by the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) said it marked an increase from $3.99 billion at year-end 2023, $8.19 billion in 2022, and $14.59 billion in 2021. NFER, which adjusted gross reserves to account for near-term liabilities such as FX swaps and forward contract, is widely regarded as a more accurate indicator of the foreign exchange buffers available to meet immediate external obligations. Gross external reserves also increased to $40.19 billion compared to $33.22 billion at the close of 2023. The increase in reserves reflects a combination of strategic measures undertaken by the CBN, including a deliberate and substantial reduction in short-term foreign exchange liabilities, notably swaps and forward obligations. Now, Niger junta on Tuesday announced that it has released 50 people linked to a 2010 coup attempt in the country. The announcement comes just 2 months after General Abdurrahman Chani was officially sworn in as Niger's president at the National Conference for a 5-year transitional period, following a new charter that replaces the existing constitution. A recommendation was made at the February conference calling for former ministers, a diplomat, a journalist, and soldiers to be freed. Imprisoned members of the government toppled in the July 2023 coup have also been released too. They have been arrested following the takeover that brought General Chani, the former head of the Presidential Guard, to power. Meanwhile, ousted former President Mohamed Bazoum is set to stay in detention despite international calls for his release. Now, Guinea's military leader has set September 21, 2025 as the date for the constitutional referendum, according to a decree read on state television on Tuesday evening, in a potential step towards returning to constitutional democracy. Mamadi Doumbouya seized power in a coup in September 2021 and in 2022 proposed a 2-year transition to elections, but then did not take steps to organize a vote. Guinea, a bauxite and iron ore producer, is one of several West African countries where the military has taken power and stalled a return to civilian rule. It missed the December 31, 2024 deadline that military authorities have set for a return to a civilian administration. In July 2024, the junta presented a draft of a new constitution which may allow Doumbouya to participate in the next presidential election. And now in sports, Akwa United head coach Kennedy Boboye has named a 20-man squad for his side's President Federation Cup, a round of 32 clash with Mighty Jet feeders. The Promise Keepers will be aiming to extend their unbeaten run to 7 matches across all competitions when they confront the Jos Club at the Kogi State University Mini Stadium, Ayimba, this Wednesday. Akwa United, who have won the President Federation Cup twice in the last 10 years, have, however, not gone beyond the round of 32 in the last 3 editions of the competition. They eliminated Kebbi United 2-1 in the round of 64 last month. Mighty Jet feeders progressed after claiming a 5-4 penalty shootout win over Imperial FC following a goalless draw in regulation time. Now, on a sad note, The most senior councillor and oldest member of the Kano Emirate Council, Abbas Sanusi, has passed away at the age of 92. The late prince, who held the esteemed title of Galadiman Kano, died on April 1 in Kano after a prolonged illness. A prominent figure in the emirate, Abbas Sanusi had been a member of the Kano Emirate Council since the late 1950s. He was first appointed as Sarkin Dawakin Tsakargida and district head of Ungogo by his father, Emir Sanusi I, in 1959. In 1962, during the reign of Emir Muhammad Inua, he was elevated to the position of Deng Iyan Kanu. Later, under Emir Ado Bayero, he became the Wambai of Kano. The more senior title, Galadiman Kano, was conferred upon him during the first reign of his nephew, Emir Muhammad Sanusi II. And with that, we have come to the end of the news update on Trust TV. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms and watch us live on YouTube for more news, programs, and documentaries. My name is Idris Dayabaturi, thanking you for being with us. Good evening.